T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX. Welcome back to another video. Overdue, I might add. Well, why haven't I been on YouTube that frequently lately? Well, school has been taking up quite a lot of my time these days. But now it's the middle of December, school's out for this semester, and I'm back at trying to do some updates on what has happened with photography, or at least my type of photography in these videos. Well, the title of this video will be the Tradera Steal of the Year, and basically this is one of those rare instances. You can already see here what it says on this little mystery box. It says Mamiya, so it's about the RB67, and this was one of those rare instances when a seller, by mistake, puts something in the wrong category. For you guys who don't know what Tradera is, it's a Swedish local version of eBay. So yeah, the focus group is very wide and very limited at the same time, because Tradera, like eBay, you can search for almost anything, but it's also quite limited to the Nordic countries. There would be Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark. Mostly they ship around Scandinavia. But anyway, the seller, usually on this is a little bit of a secret with Tradera. Usually if you are on the hunt for medium format gear, everything is under medium format cameras. But this guy had accidentally put it under lenses others. Lenses subcategory others. Instead of putting a specific brand name in it, he had just put others. So it was a little bit of a misplacement in my opinion, but you're gonna hear it in the end of this video. I'm gonna tell you what I got this particular lens for. But what lens is it? Well, a little bit of a backstory. I had looked at this lens on eBay, but I thought it was way too much for what it is, because this is a 1980s niche lens. Really, this is a niche lens. But anyway, what is it? Well, I got it mint in box with all the original paperwork, all the accessories to this lens for almost, anyway, look here. All the original stuff in it, I'm gonna just put it here and I'll show you. The Mamiya-Sekor, 150mm f4 SFC. And what is SF? Soft focus. That's why this is an 80s niche lens. It's a soft focus lens. Contrary to things like the now fabled Nikon or Nikkor 105 or 135mm DC or defocus control lenses, this was another beast altogether. This is a soft focus lens, and what does that really mean? Well, I'll just put the lens here, and this one is one of the accessories. This is why I thought it was too much for what it is on eBay, because this is very seldomly sold with this lens. This is usually lost, or it's not in the auction. You need to buy it separately. This is what makes this the soft focus. This lens, if we're gonna take a little bit about the construction of it, this is a 5-element design in 3 groups. It has an angle of view of 33 degrees. It has an aperture range from f4 to 32, and it has the common, or rather the most Mamiya lenses have the same 77mm filter thread for filters. So that's the beauty with the Mamiya RB67, in my opinion, that almost any lens that you buy and use for this camera, you can interchange the filters that you might want to use. For me, as you might know, I love the Ilford SFX black and white infrared spectrum film, and to use that to its full potential you need a infrared filter on the lens itself. And since every lens is 77 millimeters, I can use any lens with the IR film, and I can use the same filter for every lens of my choosing. So that's a big plus with Mamiya. But anyway, this was also meant to be used with the professional SD or Pro SD of the RB67, the last iteration of the RB67 cameras. Why is that important? Well, the RB67 Pro SD had a bigger, bayonet fitting than the two previous generations. And how did they, because this lens is also backwards compatible with the Pro S and the Professional, which I have. So how did they make it backwards compatible? Well, this is the little magic piece. This is an adapter that is used when this is supposed to be used with the Pro SD. Then you have to put this on the back of this lens in order for them to be compatible with each other. But since I don't have the Pro SD, I have the original Pro. This little piece is allocated to this box. But anyway, I got it with this box, everything, and in almost unused, near mint condition. And what's the X factor with this lens? We've talked about that it is the soft focus lens, but what's that X factor that makes it that almost bokeh-licious or focused? It's these discs. And this is something I've never seen any other on YouTube show. This lens is like all other Mamiya lenses. It goes from timer mode, 1 second, half second, fourth, 8th, 15th, 30th, up to 1/400th of a second. It's still the leaf shutter. And aperture, 4 to 32 has the, preview lever. Still it has, between old and new flash, PC port, the mirror up. So it looks like an ordinary Mamiya lens, but the X factor and where these comes in, they're always supposed to be 3 filters with this lens. Never buy this lens if these are not with it, because then you're missing out. This lens is not worth the eBay asking price if this piece is not contained with it. End of story, no argument. There are 3 discs. The number 1 disc, let's see, it would be this one, number 1. It equates to a f5 aperture. The number 2 is a 5.6, and the number 3 is a 6.3 f6.3 aperture. What does these discs do? Well, I don't have that money. I don't have any developed rolls as of yet with this lens, so I can't really show you it. But what this does and is different from, the fabled Nikon DC lenses. The DC lenses made it so that you can change the ratio of the background and foreground focus depending on the aperture you were currently in. This, on the other hand, makes it so that the center of the image will be pin sharp, depending on your focusing abilities, but the edges, where you see all these perforations, they will change. So you have a sharp middle and a very soft out of focus edge on every picture that you take, and you utilize one of these discs. And with more, with the increasing number, the more strong the effect will be. But they also say in the manual that this lens will not have that effect if you go above f8. But how do you get these lenses into these inserts into this? Well, this is how you do it. And this is something I've never seen anybody else show. See here, you unscrew the entire front portion and you take one of these and put it over here, or rather you can put it down here in this well, and you just screw it back on. And that's basically how you do it. So that's the beauty with this lens. It's those interchangeable. It can be, since I don't have any of these filters in it right now, this can still be used as a ordinary Mamiya 150mm, which I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that equates to something like a 85mm, which is a perfect, you know, portraiture and street type. Well, trying to do street photography with one of these babies would be kind of interesting. But anyway, that's a little bit of the backstory. But modern equivalents. What type of modern equivalent lenses can we see with this? Well, the current Mamiya, or rather now Phase 1 667 camera, the RZ67, had also a soft focus lens, but that was a different focus length. That was the 180mm, but it's still an f4. But if I should take something that is of a modern equivalent that is made today, that is, you know, today's version, I would say that Lomography has made a Kickstarter. They made a Kickstarter a while back now, where they had gotten an old Petzvold design. So it's the Lomography Petzvold 85mm f2.2. And if you look over to Christopher Frost Photography, he's one of those who made a really great review of that particular lens. And the Petzvold is famous for because it has a kind of a circularized bokeh effect. This, on the other hand, will give you that pristine, image quality that Mamiya is famous for. But these will make that, you know, distinctive, that the center is in sharp focus, tack sharp focus, but the further out to the edge you get, the more out of focus it will be, and it's a different effect from if you have a lens without these. So it's a little bit special in that aspect. So that's the closest digital DSLR camera lens that I can say mimics this one in today's market, and that's the Lomography Petzvold 85mm 2.2. But anyway, it works differences. It has, you know, it works different from fast lenses like f1.2. The effect is sharp in the middle, and towards the edges you get the, you know, the soft focus effect. Maybe in the future I might do a video when we do compare the difference between this that makes a soft image effect and maybe some kind of nice bokeh producing lenses like a 2.8 or something like that. But that's for a future video. But now I just want to read to you a little bit of an excerpt from the manual of this camera. And this is from the manual, but I have it here on my little cheat sheet, but I'm just going to read it out loud. Excuse me if I stumble a bit. Mamiya's long experience and Mamiya's long experience and concentrated technology have made possible the development of a all-new Mamiya-Sekor SFC 150mm f4 soft focus lens. A special type of spherical aberration has been purposely introduced into this lens to produce photographic images that are sharp, yet which have a all-round softness, alluring softness, and the highly advanced design using 3 new types of optical glass has made possible extremely precise correction of all other types of aberrations as in standard lenses, as well as superb color balance. The soft focus effect is eliminated when the lens is stopped down to f8 or more, so the sharp image obtained will so the same sharp image obtained with standard lenses are available when desired. And the soft focus effect can be varied at will by using the 3 different softness control discs provided with this lens. So that's what these are called. The official name is softness control discs. And I really can't emphasize enough that if you are in the market for this lens and looking at it on eBay, make sure that these softness control discs are provided with the lens. If they're not provided with the lens, go to another one. Never buy this without these. If you're not having a hugely great deal and you're in the market for a sharp 150mm, in that case it's good. But if you really are after the softness, these are essential. But now, really, the average eBay price for this particular lens, and why I thought I would never get it, is that it ranges between $130 to $350 on eBay. $130 to $350 for this. And some of them are in appalling condition, and some of them don't have the soft control discs with it. And I got this completely mint in box with all the original, documentation, the filters, the adapter for the Pro SD, everything in mint condition for $89. Let that sink in for a moment. $89, and that was because the Tradera seller had put it in the wrong category. It was in the completely wrong place at the right time. So I put a bid in and thought, if I don't get it, I don't get it. If I get it, cool. And no one else and no one else wanted it. So $89 plus $7 shipping, so a total of $96 for a lens that normally goes between $130 to $350. If that's not the internet auction steal of the year, I don't know what is. And the seller was, I think it was an elderly gentleman, and he sent a very nice email, and he said that you're the one that is taking over this lens and so on. And I sent him a reply as well that I will take care of this lens. I will not have it sit idly on a shelf somewhere. I intend to use this. I'm not the one that just want to buy stuff to have it on a shelf as a display piece. I want to use it. But in that, this is Tobias Bergström from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, as you're supposed to say in this YouTube malarkey, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. So take care.